in the Ivy League, so a little bit more stiffer competition, if you will, on a nightly basis for Notre Dame.
And let's check the starting lineups for each of these teams. Princeton, Devin Kennedy, Stevens, Spencer Wise, Player of the Year in the Ivy, Stephen Cook, Pete Miller, and for Notre Dame, Rex Pfluger, Matt Farrell, Vastoria, Beecham, Bonzie Colson. The head coach at Princeton is Mitch Henderson, and there is the head coach at Notre Dame in his 17th year, Mike Bray. They've been in the Elite Eight each of the last 2 seasons. Here's your compact mirror.
Yeah, it's very, very similar, isn't it, in terms of what they do over the course of a season? And it'll be fun to watch these guys defend each other too, Vern, from that perspective, because they're comfortable in practice working against the same sets that they'll see. But keep in mind, with the Princeton offense, it's not that quote-unquote old Princeton style.
And they get the tip and miss the layup.
Yeah, Princeton's a little bit more wide open and keeping the floor, the middle of the floor wide open, just like Notre Dame will, as you can see here in their first set.
Bonzie Colson listed at 6'5", and as Charles Barkley said in the pregame show, playing on an ankle that was, quote, twisted in the ACC tournament. Not sure how severe that damage is. He takes the 3 and misses, and the rebound goes to Stephen Cook for Princeton.
And the folks from Notre Dame basically mentioned he's about Colson being about 85 or 90%. And with the intensity of a game in the NCAA tournament, he's probably not feeling that as much.
Miles Stevens with the second miss for Princeton. And back outside, B.J. Beecham and Vastoria. 3 seniors on this team. One of the keys might be the junior Matt Farrell. He's got the ball right now, number 5.
Yeah, hard-nosed guy, looks to take the tough shots and keeps the Fighting Irish.
There's Farrell, first points of the game.
Yeah, he's not afraid to be a leader. He's not afraid to take the big shot. And that's important in the NCAA tournament. And just as from the leadership standpoint, Vern, they can look to him and make sure that when he has the basketball, he's ready to go with it.
That's the equalizer attempt, not there. Vastoria with the rebound. Here comes Farrell, who got his first start of his career in this round of last year's tournament. In the game played at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, he and Demetrius Jackson started in the backcourt. He started every game since.
Yeah, he never looked back. That was a fun ride to watch.
Pfluger.
Good hit.
Nice ditch. Well, Princeton won the Ivy. First time there's ever been a tournament. So they were the regular season champs. They've won 19 in a row. The first 5 outside of Ivy League Conference play.
And keep in mind, Vern, that this team started the season, their first 10 games. Remember that number 4 and 6. So they were 4 and 6 to begin the year, and then they turned it around and got things going. And they really just rambled right through the Ivy League and the tournament, which was only 4 teams this year.
One in the Palestra last week. It's Bonzie Colson with the free throw.
If they do play, and you compare tempo in the Ivy League, they play the slowest, basically the slowest tempo in the Ivy League. So they're not in a hurry to get a shot off. They'll make you work defensively.
Spencer Wise gets a return pass. Got it from the corner.
Weiss is a guy who just really does everything for this Princeton team. Little flare out just then, making things happen from the long range, but he will challenge you, Player of the Year this year in the Ivy.
Vastoria in the lane, off balance jumper, did not get the roll. And here's Spencer Wise, number 10. Kicks it back outside. Devin Kennedy, number 3. And here's Wise again. Most everything offensively goes through him.
Yep, little step.
Yep.
Go the other way. So when you have the ball, just watch the way they make things happen right here. Just a little flare cut to the corner. Simple. You know, when you're watching Princeton basketball, and for the most part Notre Dame also, you may not see something that's really going to stand out in terms of flashy basketball, but it's going to be fundamentally sound. And don't underestimate with these two teams that they're not great athletes, these guys. They just play in a different type of system than a lot of teams play in the United States.
From the corner, there's Farrell, second three. He's hitting 41% from beyond the arc. He's now hit 2 in this first round game against Princeton.
In the ACC tournament, he played very well, averaging 14 points a game. You'll see Princeton will continue to keep the middle of the floor open, but look at, you notice Notre Dame is going to try to slide the opposite side, the weak side, into the lane.
Notre Dame with this pass outside, and there's Farrell for 3.
Yeah, that first diagonal pass is the one that gets everybody running for their guy, and if you make a quicker pass on the second one, just can't get to him.
Jumper off the rim. Tipped out, saved by Princeton.
Yeah, good work by Cook just to hang around.
Amir Bell, number 5, first man into the game off the bench. He plays about 23 minutes per game for the Tigers. That one a misfire. Pfluger.
As you notice, Vern, when they both bring the ball up the floor, they have their eyes ahead in case there's an opportunity to get a quick run-out play, but for the most part, they're just bringing it up to set it up.
Colson. Turnaround, his defender slipped. That was Pete Miller on the ground, number 31, time called 7-3, Notre Dame.
Told me the theme of the year for this team is worry about us, and they feel confident that they're poised to make another run this season.
All right, Allie, thank you. Colson at the line.
Yeah, and Allie, I think that's a great point, especially in the beginning of a game when you're playing against a team that does similar things that you do, you know, because you can at least fall back on and say, you know, we've been in this spot before. We had a good run in the first couple of games in the NCAA tournament last year, but use that experience and the veteran leadership of guys who've been through this already to really make sure that they execute as early as they possibly can.
Stevens, number 12, takes Meacham. Meacham, good job defending, but he gets off the glass and the ball falls through.
Stevens is their guy. He's really, from Princeton's perspective, one of the guys who really challenges and drives to the basket pretty well.
High screen set by Colson, pick and roll. Oof. Oh my goodness.
Well, he had a wide open lane on the left.
Yeah, why the up and under?
I don't know. Maybe he thought there was some shot blockers, but the Princeton team only blocks 3 shots a game, so that's not a concern.
This is Will Gladson, number 13, a freshman. Little soft jump hook, very nice.
Well, so a team Princeton that will take the ball and shoot the ball well from the outside at about 38%. Last 2 trips, we've seen a slash to the basket. We've seen a little dump down for a pretty jump hook there for Gladson.
Matt Farrell looks inside. There's Colson. The cut from Beecham. He gets the ball, and it is knocked out of bounds.
So here's Colson going in, Vernon, like you touched on. Boy, that was wide open on the left side. I'm not sure what he was thinking about just then. In the offense, nobody's going to double down. So you get your big fella, 6'10" freshman, just step in there nice and comfortably and just drop it in.
Here's Beecham again.
Good hands there.
And off the bench.
Weiss got a hand on that play just then, too, defensively.
Gladson.
We've seen it 3 times in a row now, Vern, with Cook finishing that one off.
And a 6-0 run for the Tigers now. Crossover, Vasturia, Cook, good job. Ball is short, tip, up and in. Martinez-Gebben.
Vasturia made a nice adjustment just then, too, with that little bit of a ball fake. I didn't think he was going to get his shot off.
No basket. I thought that might have gone down.
Same here. There
Whoa.
was Cook stepping through, maybe a little bit of a bump. Luger getting attended to on the sideline. Let's take a look where that bump occurs. Yeah, I think that's the right call. He gets bumped right there before he starts to get into his shot. And in the college game, that is a good call.
And a little bump for Pfluger.
Yeah.
Foul was on him. And
say,
oh,
bleeding.
boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they're walking him out that quickly like that, some blood on the top of the forehead.
11-9 in the early going. Bodies collide and a foul is called. The CBS Sports app is your app for the tournament. Follow your bracket, watch highlights, and get instant team and upset alerts. Download the CBS Sports app now to experience every moment of the action. Matt Ryan is on the floor now, number 4 for the Irish. Here's Farrell, and they got Ryan with the foul. Let's take a look at behind the stats presented by LG.
So both of them, when you look at the top lines of each of their team numbers, 10 turnovers for Princeton, 9.4, so they're very similar. And keep in mind that Notre Dame, with that free throw shooting percentage, Vern, long way to go until we get to the last 3-4 minutes of a basketball game here this afternoon, but that always comes into play if you're a good free throw shooting team.
Nice move. Spencer Weiss.
Yep, just so smart. He's constantly looking from different positions on the floor, whether he has to pass it out or not.
Tip. Take another look at Weiss.
Yeah, take a look too, Vern, at the way he's looking. He's kind of looking across court, and no one's going to step in for the double team. He doesn't see Gebben come across for the double team, so why not just sit there and wait it out, dribble it. Nobody comes out and commits. Go for it.
Matt Ryan at the line. Miles Stevens will come back on for Princeton. And Vastoria and Gebben head to the bench for the Irish. B.J. Beecham is back on the floor for Notre Dame. Irish by 2. This is only the 4th time they have met, and the last time you were at Duke, 1977. You were at Duke then, weren't you?
I was. Exactly, yeah.
Well, remember.
Final Four.
I watched you play. Frightening. Not watching you play. No, I didn't mean that the way it came.
You sound like my family members now.
No. You guys had a terrific team. You and the G-Man, Jaminski, and Gene Banks. That one got a nice roll.
Yeah, finally the second one goes for Coulson. The Irish struggling a little bit before that. Now they're 4 for 10 from the floor. And one of the things that Princeton does too well, we talk about the open floor motion offense that they do run, but they defend the perimeter pretty nicely.
How about Weiss? Nice little pump fake, then he set, as our friend Mr. Raftery would say. Set the puppies.
Set those puppies up.
Farrell. Taken down by Amir Bell for the Tigers.
Did you notice that no other Notre Dame players are down there? Kennedy just taking that one to the tin just then, going the length of the floor, making things happen, but nobody helping on the offensive glass with Coulson for Notre Dame, and they're supposedly getting back, but there's that reach in by Farrell, and they're going to get away with it and put it away. Nice drive by Princeton up a point.
Holding his head. He's getting 5 to 6 stitches right now. They do plan on him coming back and playing in this game. They did not have to send him through any type of concussion protocol, and his mentality is pretty good too. He asked Allen, Notre Dame's SID, to take a photo because he thought the stitches were pretty cool.
Nice.
Now that's cool. That is.
Yeah, that we saw the picture just then. That's like an inadvertent elbow when you're grazing by somebody, Vernon. That's happened to me. And what happens with your head, believe it or not, once you get hit there with the elbow, your top of your forehead will bleed a lot.
How about that cut? And the fine Colson to Ryan. And it's tied at 17.
Yeah, and hopefully Pfluger's okay to get back in this game, which, if that's all that is, not to underestimate that injury, but he should be able to play okay with that afterwards.
Miles, turnaround jumper, no. Rebound, Bonzi Colson. He's averaging 10.2 rebounds per game. So for the season, 17 points and 10 rebounds per game.
So watch the way they keep this all the way open in the middle of the floor. It's just amazing what them allows to drive.
Will Gladson getting some early minutes here, the freshman. This is Amir Bell, number 5. Into the corner. Spencer Weiss. Shot clock at 7. Rebound, Notre Dame.
Yeah, Princeton's a team, Vernon, that gets 41% of their offense from the three-point stripe, and right now they have 10 of their points out of the 17 in the paint. So the outside shooting not dropping for them yet, as they're 2 for 7 from the floor.
And you saw the freshman, excuse me, Jim, number 2, T.J. Gibbs, running the point. Here's Vastoria. Colson. 3 on the shot clock. Got it.
Good smart move just then by Colson, understanding, just as you touched on, Vern, with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. He's an interesting player. They can get him taking the shot from the outside. They can put him. He can put the ball on the floor. Uses that long wingspan of 7'2", and now the Irish are back into his zone look.
From outside, this one, rebound Matt Ryan.
Good work by Mike Bray just then too. You're 2 of 7 if you're, and now 2 of 8 if you're Princeton. Force the action a little bit on the outside.
Jumper Vastoria, no. Rebound Amir Bell for the Tigers. 19 wins in a row. The only win streak longer is that of Vermont's. They have won 21 in a row going into the tournament.
Good work there against the zone. Perfectly designed. Just get it to the elbow at the free throw line and then kick it to the corner. You get a wide open shot. And now 2 of 9 from the three-point stripe for Princeton. So check out this middle of the floor right there and just watch to see if they can eventually drive through the middle. Because that's the way Notre Dame wants us to play. They want to spread the floor out as much as possible, which should give them an ability to drive to the basket and then kick it out for a 3 if they need it.
Screen set by Gladson. Comes Devin Kennedy, the sophomore. There's the jumper from the corner. Long rebound, T.J. Gibbs. So on the floor for Notre Dame, you've got Colson, Beecham, Ryan, Gibbs, and Vastoria. Gibbs, the true freshman, number 2.
I know we've had fouls, Vern, but it doesn't seem like we've had many.
No. Nice drive by Vastoria.
Yeah, that's because they're opening the floor. The last possession there, right? They're clearing it out. And then you have to be smart. As a player, you're not only reading your defensive guy and trying to get him lean one way or another, but you're looking behind the defensive player to make sure you can drive. So look back here. There's nothing there. So go after it. No shot blockers. Good challenge off the dribble. So when you take a look at this game summary, 2 for 10 Princeton from the three-point field goal range. Only 5 attempts so far for Notre Dame. Princeton is a 38% team three-point shooting percentage, so a little sluggish early on for them.
Miles Stevens turnaround, too strong.
Oof.
Oh, what a block.
Gobbled up by Torres, wasn't it?
Austin Torres, number 1 on the floor. Princeton has now missed its last 6 shots. Ryan, air ball. Put back, Vastoria.
I always say, Vern, when you shoot an air ball from one side of the floor, guys who are looking to block out defensively, it throws their timing off. So generally they end up in the hands of the offensive players. And here's another look at this big defensive effort here, the zone. And watch as they go through the middle of the floor. There's openings, as you can see, right in the middle.
From the corner, in and out for Devin Kennedy. And Farrell's back on the floor. He'll bring it up, number 5. Vastoria. And here's Beecham. One of the
nice
break.
cut.
Oh, yes. Ryan. Somebody lost him.
Yep, they sure did. They jumped out high side to try to defend on the wing with Beecham out there.
10 unanswered now for the Irish. And they've opened up their largest lead of the game. They're up by 8. Weiss, yes.
Good answer. And Princeton needed that for a couple of reasons. Number one, they have not been shooting the ball well from the outside. Finally get a 3 look to go down. They're 3 of 12 now. But also to get a little rhythm back in their offense.
Speaking of answers,
okay,
Spencer Weiss had to take a midterm exam proctored here while they were in Buffalo yesterday.
He didn't ask you for any of the answers.
No.
There he goes again.
Nice kick out. Kennedy got it.
Kennedy is a 42% shooter, and these guys just understand, Princeton does, exactly where you're supposed to be on the floor. If one guy goes to the middle looking for an opportunity to drive, they know they're going to have fan out guys at the wings and also in the corners.
Farrell will come back and reload.
2 quick answers, too, by the Tigers.
Yes,
Princeton
sure were.
Good ball.
Nice, beautiful. And he got Weiss to leave his feet.
Sure did. You have to show that ball fake, Vern. You want to make sure when you show it, you don't just put it up to your chest. You want to put it above your shoulders. That's what gets guys to leave their feet.
4-point margin now.
And Mike Bray and Notre Dame are changing pretty much every couple of times. Now they're in a man-to-man.
B.J. Beecham up, and it's off the head of one of the Tigers.
Simple offense. There's the little backdoor cut. Princeton makes a mistake out on the wing, so lack of a communication. And here comes Farrell. Show that ball and finish.
Good news for the Irish. Rex Pfluger back on the floor with 6 to 7 stitches in the upper left forehead. And he's got a photo to form a memory of that moment.
One that he would prefer not to have happened, but if you're going to get injured, that's one of the ones you will take in a basketball game.
Starting 5 is on the floor for the Irish. Into the corner, Beecham. Oh, he fought off the block.
Yep, and they fought off a zone look that Princeton threw. Princeton generally man-to-man for the most part, switched it up just then, and the Irish took advantage of it quickly with a little slip cut.
Back to a 6-point edge. Here's Spencer Weiss. Stephen Cook. Kennedy.
Try to go back door there. A lot of traffic, though.
From the corner for 3. Got it.
Well, Princeton makes something out of nothing just then. That ball was lost in the middle of the floor, and Cook just waiting it out on the outside just then. So a good kick and release. It goes back to that point before, Vern, about knowing where your teammates are going to be at all times. And Cook shoots it at 42% from 3.
That's his 50th made of the year. And Bonzi Colson muscles his way inside. A little turnaround, soft jumper for 2.
Yeah, he's coming off an ACC tournament where he averaged about just under 23 points a game. So he's been playing well, not only all year, but recently stepping it up, too. Good hands.
Oh, good job by Matt Farrell to anticipate that pass. 31-26, 3 to go first half. Princeton, winners of 19 in succession. They were 4 and 6 at the start of the season.
Who's jumping with them?
Yeah.
Nobody.
How about all that?
Yeah, Vastoria was the only one jumping for the basketball. Nobody else was in there jumping. They were all around it, but nobody really going after the ball.
Bell, Cook. Miles Stevens, number 12. Yes.
I love that short game Vern, when you can put the ball on the floor, get a little body action, and then that extra dribble away is going to give you a lot of separation, be able to get your shot off in the lane. Princeton keeps just hanging around. 2:15 or so left in the first half.
Foul's going to be on Princeton.
So we have a three-point game, and Stevens finding it. There's the drift. Nice little soft touch. Competitive so far. Spencer Weiss, the go-to guy for Princeton. A little flare to the corner, knocks one from long range down here. It's a little tricky move. A little couple of bounces, nobody double teams, and he goes to the left side of the floor. So pretty comfortable out there.
And for a little more on Princeton, here's Allie LaForce.
Vern, Coach Henderson has really emphasized in the huddle, no threes, let's close out. We want 70% of their offense to come either in the paint or mid-range.
All right, Allie, thank you. That was Rex Pfluger.
Let's keep an eye on Pfluger, too, because sometimes, Vern, it doesn't happen all the times. When you get hurt in the middle of a game like that, psychologically, it takes some of the pressure off you. You know, that your expectations go down a notch. You're happy to be out there playing. Be interesting just to watch to see if he steps up and has a decent game here.
Well, he almost saved it, did Pfluger. And the tournament summary thus far, 9 ACC teams in. Villanova is the #1 overall seed. We will see them primetime tonight on CBS. 12 versus 5. Oh, you saw the graphic on the bottom.
10 and
briefly.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants that?
From the corner, Cook. Nope, not this time. Pfluger with the rebound.
Timeout for Notre Dame. Vern, if you came here today looking for fast break points,
yes,
you came to the wrong place. There's none yet. Nobody's running up and down. It's half-court sets. That's all they're doing.
It's TV's #1 comedy serving up the laughs. Kevin James stars in a new episode of Kevin Can Wait, Monday at 8, 7 Central. 1:25 to go first half. Notre Dame up by 5. Here's Vastoria guarded by Amir Bell.
Yeah, they may want to get it to Coulson on the blocks. That's why Mike Bray may have called his timeout. Here he goes.
A little elbow in there, and there's a foul on the putback.
Good call by Mike Bray, coming down with 1 minute and 15 seconds or so. Mike decides, hey, let's try to get something on the going in the paint and get it to our big guy. They have a 20-12 advantage. Notre Dame does in the paint, so why not finish the half with that possession and possibly another one coming down after the Princeton Tigers get the basketball back.
Foul was on Amir Bell, his second, and Coulson will shoot one more. 79% free throw shooter. This is an outstanding free throw shooting Notre Dame team. And of course,
there you go.
Announcers jinx.
#1 in the country.
Yeah. Stephen Cook. Miles Stevens. Weiss sets the screen. Amir Bell, spin move, nice. Up and under. Boy, that was really pretty.
It sure was. You know, he had 16 points in the Ivy tournament and has been a guy who's trying to help them with the scoring a little bit, just under 7 points a game, but he has the ability to go and slash to the basket.
That Ivy tournament involved 4 teams. Princeton had to go to overtime to beat Penn in the Palestra, their home court, and then they defeated Yale 71-59 in the championship game. Pfluger, nice.
Got that to hang, didn't he? Just enough on that rim up there. Nice little drive to the basket. It looks like he's just playing right through that injury, which I thought he would.
6-point margin. Last shot of the first half, no sir. Well, it would not have counted, but off the front rim for Bonzi.
Vern in the methodical play here. You see Bell driving and spinning to the basket. Good delivery, and then the answer by Pfluger. Nice little drive, but Vern, if you had a 3:15 plane to catch this afternoon, you'd be in good shape. This is just going very quickly without the fouls.
That's the end of the first half. Let's go to Allie with Mike Bray.
Coach, let's start on defense. Princeton had those 5 banners accounted for more than half of their offense. How do you do a better job contesting from deep?
Well, you know, they're so good out there. I wish we could chase them off it a little bit more. Our zone actually helped us some. It changed their rhythm. I love that they only have 30 points, though, and we're in not a bad offensive rhythm against a good defensive team. You were able to maintain the lead the entire first half, but not pull away. What do you hope separates you in the second? Well, you know what? We expect it to go down to game situations. They're really good. I don't ever think we're going to win an easy game in the NCAA tournament. We're going to have to be better guarding the arc in the second half, and we got to throw it to Bonds in the post. Thanks, Coach. Thanks.
You'll notice Mike has gone for the scruffy look. Miami Vice, anybody? AT&T at the half after this message and a word from your local station.
Tougher when they get to the basket. He said they also have more experience than us, and we have to overcome that with discipline.
All right, Allie. And your reaction?
I would agree 100% with Allie's report and the conversation just then, because the experience has shown a little bit for Notre Dame. And keep in mind, they did a very good job of defending the three-point line against Princeton also. So I think you're going to expect to see more of the same in this half, Vern. I mean, as the scattering reports mimic one another, the first half mimicked one another, so I would just anticipate that they're not going to be running up and down. This is what you're going to see here this afternoon in this ball game, and who's going to weather the storm.
Starting 5 on the floor, and there's Matt Farrell. His brother Bo, by the way, is here. Bo served in Afghanistan and surprised Matt with an appearance. They actually stashed Bo in a motel for 5 or 6 days and then brought him out to surprise Matt Farrell back in February. Miller up and under, too strong. Here's Farrell. Last year averaging 2 points per game. This year 14.
Yep, little jump out there. Yep. Not going to work for Miller.
How about the halftime numbers here, Jim?
Well, when you take a look at them, I think, 41% of Princeton's offense comes from the three-point stripe. So I think that's a good number, 14 for them, Vern, but 22 for the Irish. And as Ali just mentioned a moment ago, they're going to try to get this guy involved on the blocks and see if Prince is going to double team him when he goes towards the basket.
Fade away. Nope.
They decided not to go double team just then, and Colson kind of takes a bad shot floating away.
Devin Kennedy, the sophomore from Mishawaka, Indiana, only 6 miles from the Notre Dame campus. He's number 3. And has the ball right now, guarded by Farrell. Jumper. Nope.
Well, Kennedy usually hits that shot. He can make it. But this one just doesn't have, it's like taking the air out of a balloon here, isn't it? It's just everybody's very complacent at each end of the floor, not looking to go anywhere in a hurry. Both of them look for a little bit of backdoor cuts, but they like to keep the middle of the floor open for drives.
Good job defensively there by Cook on Farrell. Pfluger in and out.
My guess is if both of these coaches, Vern, we talked to both of them about playing the same style, and they give coach speak every so often as Colson gets hit there with that. But I would bet in an honest moment neither one of them wanted to play the other team the way they play this game, because they're easier to defend. As you see the ball movement by Notre Dame in that first half, a couple of diagonals. Colson then got to the blocks, and here comes the other one. Diagonal cut from the baseline, pass, and then you have one from the elbow area.
Ball inbounded by Spencer Weiss. Cook backs it out. Amir Bell, first man off the bench, and he is in that position right now, number 5. Skip pass, one touch, jumper for three. No. Five of 19, excuse me, Jim, from 3-point now for Princeton.
Yeah, Vern, both of these teams get back. They set their offenses up so well that they're ready for defense also. Wow.
Bonzie Colson, point blank, missed it.
Having some trouble just delivering on the easy ones. 3 of 9 from the floor. There you go.
There we are. Will Gladson, the freshman, number 13.
Yeah, triple team out front. Just wait it out and make sure Gladson finds a spot where he can be seen. And Princeton's taken many more shots from the three-point line, 19 of them.
How about Farrell?
Yeah. He's just a hard-nosed player. Gives Mike Bray a lot of different looks and different things that he does well, but he's not afraid to challenge you. He's a real competitive kid.
Jersey guy.
You got it. Thank you.
I knew it was on your mind.
A triple team in the post. Princeton a little stagnant with the offense. Careful.
Oh, watch
Vern.
out, watch out. Welcome to our world, BJ. Good to have you with us.
3-man booth.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Here he comes. He was beelining more towards you than me, so I wasn't too concerned.
No, of course you weren't.
I'll take care of you, though.
I'll recognize that I'm the more fragile of the two. 40-32. That one's good.
Yeah, Bell just taking it upon himself to make something happen. Just to find a way to get Princeton to score a bucket. Has to be a deflection.
Yeah.
Or a little tip on the elbow, either one.
Take a look at the last two.
Yeah, look at this little step through just then. Stevens finds a lot of traffic around him. He gives it up. And then Bell making a nice little move to finish it off in the lane.
Adam, Jim, and Allie and I were watching that game at halftime of ours, and Wilmington went on one heck of a run. So what a comeback by Virginia.
Yeah, team Virginia that doesn't really explode at the offensive end of the floor, that's for sure.
Devin Kennedy back on the floor. This is Spencer Weiss. Jumper, no. 5 of 20 now. And Kennedy gets it back. Loses it.
Nobody helping him out, too. Kennedy making a presence on the offensive glass just then against 2 Notre Dame players.
Basturia misses. Irish now 2 of 7 from 3. Here's Amir Bell. Good job by Farrell defending.
And Pfluger also helping out from the weak side.
There's Pfluger defending again. Weiss. Austin Torres is on the floor for Notre Dame, number 1. 5 on the shot clock. Turnover. Pfluger. Number 0, stitches in his left forehead. Took an elbow midway through the first half.
4 turnovers for Princeton, 2 for Notre Dame.
Smooth as silk.
It sure is. Farrell's the guy that they lean on. 15 points now, 6 of 7. Never really breaks the, the facial expressions either, which I like. Bernie just comes to play and plays hard. Another handoff going out of bounds.
Bleacher Report's animated series Game of Zones returns this April. Watch Game of Zones only on the Bleacher Report app. Take a look at Farrell on the last basket. Well, don't take a look.
Okay. Straight away, though, pretty good shot for Farrell, and defensively, Notre Dame trying to keep Princeton out of the middle of the lane. Princeton has 5 turnovers. Good pass.
Bonzie Colson slipped wide open underneath, and Farrell found him. Largest lead of the game now. It is in double digits at 11. Previous large was 10. Matt Farrell scoring and passing, and Mitch Henderson needs to talk with his team.
Yeah, if you slide away from him, he's going to shoot the ball from long range, and also now take that little high screen pick and roll action. Very nicely executed and finished.
Saying hi from Afghanistan, but they surprised him, and Bo made an appearance on the court at the Joyce Center. Bo is here this afternoon. There he is. And he will serve as a recruiter now that his tour in Afghanistan is over. Nice moment.
Yep, sure was. Great story.
For more, here's Allie.
Vern, Matt told me it was the greatest Christmas gift he could have ever gotten. He didn't think he was going to see his brother again for another 2 months. And so I asked him, how much do you guys communicate when you're not together? And he said, oh, we email or FaceTime every single day that he was in Afghanistan. That's how close they really are. And he likes to think it sparked his success for the rest of the season, and certainly today, now that he's in the house.
Here's Pfluger down on the floor again. Offensive foul. That's his second. Mitch Henderson.
And here comes the step across. And he's trying to slide by it there. That's one of the most difficult calls for the officials, because actually Pfluger got his body beyond the defender. Yeah. It's just a difficult shot. If I'm the offensive player here, I'm thinking I'm going by. Yeah, but you know what? He did make the contact, even though he was trying to drift by him, Vern. I'm going to say that that's a good call just then.
And Amir Bell getting treated for a cut. Mike Bray did not agree with that call, to say the least.
You know, just to tag Ali's point just then about, Matt Farrell. He's 6 of 7 from the floor. And I think there's pretty good defensive position. He's outside the restricted area. He's in good position defensively. And as an offensive player, yes, you're trying to slide by him. But if you make contact, even if you're sliding by him, it's still a good call from the officials.
45-37. Bell continues to get medical assistance. And that was one of the officials telling us what we kind of assumed.
Yeah, charge, and there was one of the players had some blood, so they decided to substitute him.
Princeton trailing by 8. First round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins tomorrow at noon on ESPN2, and watch ESPN. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Well, you see Amir Bell still getting some medical aid. Meanwhile, Bonzie Colson is going to get a rest, and Austin Torres is back on for him. Torres goes for it, hit the line. Princeton ball. Aaron Young is on the floor now. He'll replace Devin Kennedy, number 3.
And he's a guy who'll shoot the ball from the long range. Doesn't drive it that often. Young, 67 of his 72 career free shots have come from the three-point stripe, so you know where he's going to spend most of his time.
Weiss looks inside for Gladson.
Yeah, you'd like to see Princeton get something going towards the basket.
Little fadeaway off the front rim.
Yeah, it's almost like one-on-one in the backyard just then, that kind of move, isn't it? I'm just going to back you in, but it's great unless you you know, once you make the shot, it's good, but you know, you got to get a little bit more movement, some action going towards the basket if you're Princeton.
There's Farrell on the line. 45-37. Notre Dame leading the Tigers of Princeton. Time has been called.
Weiss. And, you know, one of the things they're trying to do with Weiss is really focus on him defensively so that if he gets to the middle of the floor, there's 1 and 2 multiple players looking to help defend him. And now Princeton trying to spread it again, as we've talked about, Vern, but watch, they're looking for back doors. But the key thing becomes how Notre Dame plays them. There's your backdoor cut.
There it is.
Yep.
Beautiful. And Weiss, little one touch up and in.
Yeah, it does. You know, it's interesting from the Princeton side. That's a nice call by Mitch Henderson. He wasn't getting what he wanted out of his offense. So put a little bit of the Pete Carrill, if you will, back into the offense.
Yes. And here comes Amir Bell. He's got Cook in the corner. And Cook will drive, kick it out. Gladson now from the corner, air ball. Oh, that's deflating. Oh,
so is that
from behind? Yes.
And Vernon, might add, for those youngsters out there who don't know who Pete Carrill is, right? One of the legendary great coaches in basketball, NCAA college coaches at Princeton. And a terrific guy.
Matter of fact, he lives in Princeton. I'm sure that he's watching the telecast, and he is such a wonderful part of the history of this sport.
Still manages to get to all the practices too, huh?
Yeah. Well, that Princeton defense and the backdoor cuts. I was lucky enough 26 years ago to do a game that was arranged when Loyola Marymount was averaging 105 points a game, and they came to Princeton, and Carrill's system won 76-48.
That's a lockdown defensive day, isn't it?
Oh boy.
Colson in the lane just then too, so Notre Dame going to their strength. Princeton with the back doors, and Colson is a strength on the block.
47-39, midway through the second half. Gladson thought about it, but Colson was right there saying go ahead. Here's Pfluger defensively. Good job. That's going to be a foul on Colson.
So it's the nice looks spread out, and then you're going to eventually see the cut to the basket. Well designed, and that really works effectively if you can get 5 guys out on the floor.
There's Pete. Head coach 67-96. And the current Princeton coach, Mitch Henderson, was a starter on that team that knocked out UCLA in the tournament. One of the great moments in Princeton basketball history.
It sure was.
Well, we've gone this deep, we haven't mentioned Bill Bradley yet.
Now you have.
Yeah, now that's done.
Dollar bill.
When they went to the Final Four. When you and I were young, Charlie. Well, I was young. 47-41.
One more stop for Princeton, Vern, and they'll start to believe in themselves a little bit more.
See if they can get it. Instead, it's a foul. That's on Alec Brennan. Well, the last 3 Ivy League 12 seeds in the round of 64. Harvard won, Yale won, and Princeton trailing by 6 with 9:33 to go here, and Colson back at the line. Well, this 80% free throw shooting team, and Colson has not been all that effective today. He's 4 of 7.
Yeah, he's a 79% shooter, Vern.
Announcer Jinx.
You got it. Wow.
Wow.
Opening the door.
Devin Kennedy, number 3.
Nice backdoor cut. Fortunately saved by the kick by Colson just then.
9:19 to go. Here comes Austin Torres back in. And let's see if Bonzie Colson might have re-aggravated that ankle injury.
Yeah, he's playing at about 95%. And you notice, Vern, even if you don't look at the body, the ankles as he's going across, the body was like totally out of control, which means that you're going to kind of slam down your ankles and your foot to the floor. May have thrown his timing off with that, may have re-injured that a little bit.
Here's Kennedy again. Jumper. In and out. Vastoria gets it in the hands of Matt Farrell. 9 to go. First round game. Notre Dame in the Elite 8 each of the last 2 years. Princeton the last time they were in the tournament in 2011. There's Vastoria for 3. Princeton lost to Kentucky 59-57.
Vastoria had a good run in the ACC tournament the first 2 games where he scored a total of 30 points, but the third game not that great. Oh, baby.
Kennedy for 3 and a foul.
And so he'll get to the line where he's 94%, so a great free throw shooter to boot. But here he is, a little late on the reaction, just a touch on the arm. Good call from the officials. Here it comes, bang, hits it before he can follow through. That's great camera work too, just then to catch that one right on the top of the forearm.
He's a sophomore from Mishawaka, Indiana, is Devin Kennedy. Spent 2 months this summer in Tanzania on a study program with 14 others. Among the other highlights, he learned to speak Swahili.
I can't go there with you, my friend.
Well, you knew I was going there. Right? My wife Nancy and I were in Dar es Salaam in January. I can speak one word in Swahili. Jumbo, jumbo. You say it twice.
Okay.
Slowly, slowly.
Very nice.
Colson back on the floor. Allie, how about Bonzie?
It seemed as though he may have retweaked his ankle, but when he went to the bench, he received no medical attention, and I was watching him the entire time. He didn't grab his ankle or even do any exercises on it, so it seems like he's just going to play through it for the meantime.
TJ Gibbs will shoot 2.
I think it's going to take a whole lot more than a tweaked ankle to get Bonzie Colson out of this basketball game.
Well, Notre Dame Princeton here in Buffalo. Our next game will be West Virginia against Bucknell. That's a 4 versus a 13. And you saw the 2 games out west. Here's TJ Gibbs one more time.
Vern, you want me to go out on a little bit of a limb?
Sure.
The pace is going to be a little quicker defensively when West Virginia gets on this court than what we're seeing right now.
Oh, that limb is going to break off.
There you go.
Boy, you really took a chance with that.
I'm taking a chance. Yeah, very risky early in the day here.
Oh.
Good no shot there by Kennedy. Better action, though, away from the basketball all of a sudden for Princeton. They turn it over, though.
Bonzie Colson.
And it's their 6th turnover. They average 10. Colson's got a mismatch, and that's going out of bounds.
Matt Farrell, way too high. 7:35 to go in the game. Bonzie Colson. Well done. Notre Dame by 7. They've had the best statistically in almost every category. Matt Farrell threw that bad pass going to break. And here was the reaction from his coach, Mike Bray. Anything but pleased. And then here was in the huddle.
Yep. 5 out. And 3 is going to come back in.
Yes.
Beecham. I can't imagine for that long with Farrell.
No. Traveling. Miles Stevens, the sophomore. Another jersey guy. Lawrenceville. Well, that didn't take long, did it? I guess you could consider that a teaching moment.
A brief teaching moment, I would say.
Mike Bray talked about Matt Farrell, who, as we've mentioned, got his first start in this tournament a year ago, started all 4 games. And there was a game earlier this season when Matt Farrell took a clutch shot. And after he did so and they won the game, Mike Bray said, I think we've got something special.
They get a great relationship. Mike does with all his players.
17 years, the head coach at Notre Dame. B.J. Beacham, nope.
They just can't get the separation. Nice ball fake there. Finish. Stevens with the run out and the catch and go, Vern, and all of a sudden, my math is right. You got a 5-point game on your hands with 6 and change to go. Still anybody's ball game here.
Colson. Tough shot.
Fans behind us thought he might have just hop-stepped a little bit too with no call on the, whoa, baby. Whoa.
That would have brought the Princeton crowd up. 5 points, 6:22 to go.
Nice defensive effort too.
Yes.
Kennedy took that shot. He's a 42% three-point shooter, so I mean that's his range. I'm not so sure I like that quickly. But now they'll go back into their methodical pace, trying to look for a back door.
Foul is called on Beacham.
I think Princeton is lulling him into the pace of what they want against Notre Dame right now. Just a little contact just then, and Stevens forcing the action. And I always like the guys who drive to the basket, even though there wasn't much of a bang on that particular play. But if you're aggressive going to the basket, Vern, generally you're going to get to the call.
64% for the year. He's 2 for 2 today. Rex Pfluger back. So also is Will Gladson for the Princeton Tigers.
Stevens was the most outstanding player in the Ivy tournament. Had his first career double-double. So he's a guy who's been playing well, as most of these Tigers have been with their record.
And he is a perfect 4 for 4 at the line. And Princeton is within 3 with under 6 to go.
I wouldn't mind seeing a dump down into blocks for Colson at some particular point.
Bastoria. Up and under off the glass, no.
Well, all these shots are being well defended by Princeton.
Here's Weiss in the corner, Cook.
Both of those guys deferring. Good job.
Gladson for 3. See the bench?
Yeah, I saw the bench, and I'm hearing the crowd, too. That's drifting a little bit towards Princeton right now.
Well, we've got Princeton fans back behind us to the left. They are on their feet. Timeout. Well, 52-49, 5:19 to go. How about the tenacity of these Princeton Tigers who've won 19 in a row?
And both of these teams, as we talked about way from the beginning of this game, the methodical sets, they mimic one another. There have been 0 fast break points in this game so far.
Farrell will go to the line. His brother Bo, I think he's texting.
And his brother's been doing pretty well. There's a little strip around steal, a little pull up jump shot for Farrell. And just orchestrating and running the offense.
My gosh, he's an 81% free throw shooter. And as a team, this 80% effort for Notre Dame today, 8 of 13 from the line.
Now, Vern, it may not carry over for the last 5 minutes, but what I'm sensing right here with Notre Dame is they're kind of looking at one another saying, like, what's going on here? You know, and they just don't seem as confident as normal right this second. So they got to regroup, pull themselves together and get a stop here, because Princeton is looking collectively like they have a little bit more bounce and they understand what they're trying to execute and confidently doing it.
Weiss. Farrell defending. Weiss.
Pretty. There's a perfect example of it. A team, Princeton, that's not in a hurry. As we know, neither one of them are in the hurry, but they'll patiently work to see if they can get a little bit of a one-on-one opportunity.
This is a 10-3 run for the Tigers. Vastoria. Farrell gets it back to Vastoria. Good job defending. Shot clock at 5. Nothing.
Ooh. Yeah,
Notre Dame ball.
Yeah, they're not getting the shots they want, that's for sure, out of this offense. I can guarantee you that. The last 3 possessions have been a little bit of trouble.
Bonzie Colson back in. Torres will sit. And for Princeton, on the next dead ball, here's Vastoria.
There's a block call on Weiss.
Yeah, believe so.
Yeah. There's a quick catch. I'm going to tell you, that's a tough call just then right there, too. Weiss is thinking he had pretty good position, and I agreed with him.
Vastoria's first free throw of the game. He's a 91.5% free throw shooter. That's more like it for him.
Obviously the ACC's best shooter. 86 of 94 coming into the game.
That's pretty impressive.
Yep, that works. Keep in mind, as you've touched on earlier, Vern, this #1 free throw shooting team in the country here.
Yes.
So let's see how this plays out. If they can effectively run their offense, even if they don't score, more times than not, they can win games and close games at the free throw line.
4 to go. First round. Notre Dame in the Elite 8 each of the last 2 years. Nice pass.
It's a step, though.
Davin Kennedy disgusted.
He knows it, too. He didn't realize how open he was right here. Watch him catch it. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a good call.
Timeouts remaining. Fouls 5 and 6. Farrell, Vastoria, Beecham, Pfluger. Notre Dame, no field goals in the last 5-10.
My mind goes back to the Stephen F. Austin game last year, right, where it was a close game and they won on a Pfluger tip. So it's pretty much the same lineup out there for Notre Dame.
Farrell, front rim.
Can they learn from that experience to stick together? And once again, I don't see the confidence in their bodies.
Oh, yes! Stephen Cook. A 1-point game.
Yeah, interesting enough, they got down the floor in a hurry for one of the first times, and they released the open shot. Notre Dame has to figure out a way to answer, and I would go to Colson on the blocks if they can post them up.
Beecham turns the corner, up and under, tough shot, front rim.
Well, it just seems like every shot, good behind the back pass just then by Weiss also.
Yes, here's Amir Bell, number 5. A chance for the lead.
They try and often execute to get the shot that they want. And keep an eye at the middle of the floor is going to be wide open.
That's Pete Miller. This is Weiss. Back outside for the lead. No. Air ball.
I don't know if Colson may have touched that. He was out there. He was definitely a factor on Bell's jumper.
2:20 to go.
And they're trying to get it to Colson. Now let's see if they double team.
10 on the shot clock. Got it.
Just too much. Too much to handle just then for a 6'4", 210 guy defensively in Weiss. When you're dealing with Bonzie Colson, who's 6'5", 225 with the long arms. Don't forget he's got a 7'2" wingspan to finish things off.
Colson gives Notre Dame a 3-point edge. 9 to go. Matt Farrell overplaying.
Yeah, you don't want to overplay too much, though. Back door on you.
Weiss. Clock violation gives Notre Dame the ball back with 1:29.
To your strengths, making sure you work the basketball, maybe a dump down.
The hands of Astoria now. He's guarded by Stevens. Here's Colson.
They can play it hard. Maybe they'll give him 2, though, right now. Very, very strong. Quick to his shots.
He's only 4 of 8 at the line this afternoon. Announcer's curse in reverse.
There you go.
Pete Miller's going to come on for Princeton now.
First team player. Terrific year this year for the Irish.
.110 to go. 5-point Notre.
Notre Dame shoots those free throws very well if you have to go into the fouling mode.
Underneath. Got it!
Oh, I think that was Bell. A quick release. And 1.
35 seconds to. Five on the shot clock. Pull-up jumper. Farrell, long rebound.
Because with just under 20 seconds left, but it depends, you know, when you have a team like Princeton that doesn't go quickly with their offensive. You can go to the basket quickly, but, you know, Mitch Henderson maybe. Who gets in the middle of that? Yeah, I think it was. It was Bell. I always like to drive the basketball to the basket to get a quick 2. And I think you should do that even though you're playing. No timeouts left for Princeton. 1 for Notre Dame.
And Spencer Weiss will inbound right above us.
Wow, that's a tough pass.
My gosh, tipped out by Colson. That was,
Vern, I'm telling you,
challenging.
It sure was. That is, I mean, unless you take a couple of more steps over here, that is probably as difficult a pass in this situation as you can try to make. I don't get that one at all.
Used a timeout to set that up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were going for the quick 3. There's no question about it over the top. We'll check the clock. Let's see.
Checking the clock again, guys.
Yep.
And the clock never started, so the clock should have started when Colson touched the basketball. Then it should have stopped when the ball landed a couple of rows back. He didn't pick that off.
When it was tipped and went out of bounds.
.9. Okay. Yep. A lot of help from the officials, which we appreciate.
Always do.
Well, let's do it again. How about that? The jumper for 3. No.
Oh, great tip.
Tip is good.
Miller right there. Now you got to start to foul the best shooting team. Oh, Farrell called the timeout.
He did get the timeout. Yes, he did. My goodness.
So they go over the top again, but now they close it, they squeeze, and watch the soft shot is a ball that's able to be rebounded by Miller. Guys who shoot the basketball, and that was Cook who shot it from the outside. It was a very good. He's okay, so now Notre Dame up a point. They have to have somebody come and meet.
And they get it to Farrell.
They got to go
double
quick.
team. They got him.
Okay, so both teams executed pretty well. Just gave themselves a couple of seconds to maybe try to get a deflection or a steal. You know, we spoke to Mike Bray yesterday during their practice. There, even if guys have better, you know, the story obviously has a better shooting percentage, but he'd love to have him here. Whoa.
No! He had a pretty good look, didn't he?
I'd say he had a very good look, Vern. And we have the look. And I thought when he released this basketball, I thought that ball was going to go in. Point two, but here's the look we have. At this point, I'm thinking that's going in. It's just a little long. Boy, but Princeton got the best look they could get. Let's see where the foul occurs, though. Right there. I think there's going to be.
Wow.
Yep. And that becomes a tipping action. So,
yeah.
Unless they get the .4.
Because that clock went to zeros, we can go back and look at when exactly.
.4 left, Vernon. Because the clock goes to 0-0, that gives the officials the opportunity. So now you get .4. So think this one through, right? Fostoria now is at.
And he's got one more.
You know, some people might say, well, have him miss this shot. Tie this game, so be it. But you want to make this shot. Oof.
Oh. Princeton had a chance. Notre Dame escaped this, but you don't see any kind of euphoric.
From 42%, Kennedy is a good shooter. He's just a little long on that shot.
They'll play on Saturday against either West Virginia or Bucknell in the second round here in Buffalo.